In this video, not only am I gonna talk about whether you should do weights or plyometrics first, but I'm gonna talk about whenever you do mixed training, which is what if you wanna do speed, power, strength, hypertrophy, all in the same workout, which is fine. Which ones do you do first, second, third, fourth, etc., etc.? All of that coming up in this video. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nathanael Morton, and I am a sports performance coach who specializes in basketball players. And right now, if you comment JUMP, J-U-M-P, down below in the comment section, I will send you a free vertical jump training program. And if you want to take your sports performance to the next level, $20 a month gets you access to me. I will personally coach you and make customized program. We will take your vertical jump, your upper body, your body fat levels, your knee strength to the next level. You are literally getting personalized coaching from me. I text you more than I text my own girlfriend. Not kidding. Link for that will be down below in the pinned comment and in the description, but let's get into this video. Which one should you do first? Plyometrics or weight training? I'll tell you right off the bat, most of the time, it is plyometrics, because you want to be fresh when you're doing your plyometrics, because plyometrics are more of a skill. It's a motor pattern in your brain, and if you go and you hit a lot of weights, and then you go and do your plyometrics, you could be a little bit fatigued, and that motor pattern could get a little bit jumbled and fumbled when you are doing your plyometrics. So most of the time, you want to do plyos first, rev up your central nervous system, get everything ready to go, and then hit your weights, but not always. Once you start to get a little bit more advanced, you can go ahead and you can interchange the two. You could do a heavy weighted exercise followed by a plyometric jump. For example, you could do heavy back squats, and then you can go over and immediately superset it with some squat jumps or some box jumps. It's called complex training, a heavy weighted exercise followed by a plyometric jump. And what happens is it's called post-activation potentiation. Your muscles are potentiated from the heavy weighted exercise, and whenever you go and do the plyometric jump, you are jumping much higher, getting more effectiveness from the plyometric jump, because your body is ready for another heavy weighted exercise. But you don't give it a heavy weighted exercise, you give it a plyo, making that superset extremely effective for your vertical jump, so you can dunk on anybody who is sadly standing in the lane when you come through it. There's also French contrast training, which is a heavy, almost maximal load, followed by a plyometric jump, followed by a sub-maximal load, and then another plyometric jump, which is usually an accelerated, like a band accelerated plyometric jump. But as you go on, you can start to mix in plyometrics with your weight training to do more advanced techniques of training. But for most of you and most beginners, you want to keep your plyometrics at the beginning to fire up your central nervous system, and then hit your weights. And then as you get more advanced, go ahead and use these advanced training techniques and add your plyos, interchange them, and mix them in with your weight training. Now, when performing mixed training, which is best for beginners and intermediate lifters, once you get more advanced, you want to start having full power workouts, or full strength workouts, or full plyo workouts, or full technique workouts. But once you're a beginner and an intermediate lifter, it's called mixed training, where you do your speed, your power, your strength, your hypertrophy, your rehabbing exercises all together in the same workout, which is completely fine. Like I've been saying, is especially good for beginner or intermediate lifters. And all of that I mean by beginner or intermediate is if you've been training for 3 years or less. If you've been training for longer than that consistently, you're more of an advanced lifter. You go ahead and do these advanced training techniques. Anyways, whenever you are doing mixed training and you're combining a bunch of parameters together, you always want to warm up first, obviously. Then you want to do your speed exercises, which would be your sprints or your power skips, or maybe your bounding or your depth jumps, or more jumps that are reactive. Then you would do your power exercises, which might be power cleans, it might be some dumbbell squat jumps. All that I mean by power is you can do squats or deadlifts and train for power. It really just means training between 55 and 80% of your 1 rep max, trying to move the weight fast, but it's also somewhat heavy. So you're training for force and you're training for velocity at the same time. So you're training to get stronger, but you're also training to move the weight faster. Combine those, and that equals power training. Then after that, so we got our warm up, speed, our power training. After that would come strength. So like a 5x5 squat as heavy as you can, or heavy deadlifts. This is where you do your strength training. Maybe your 1 leg Romanian deadlifts for 4 sets of 6 reps each leg. This is where you do your strength training. After that is when you do your hypertrophy, okay? as a beginner, you're going to get into hypertrophy, but once you begin to get a little more advanced for vertical jump, hypertrophy is really not the way to go, okay? We're not trying to have big legs like a bodybuilder, we're trying to train like an athlete, but same principles apply for upper body. I train a lot of hypertrophy. For my upper body, I do train speed, I train power, I train strength, but for my upper body, I'm trying to get the curls for the girls, I'm trying to get some big arms, okay? So I do a lot of hypertrophy training for my upper body, not so much for my lower body. Then after that, after hypertrophy would come your rehabbing exercise, and you gotta be careful because you could do some rehabbing at the beginning of your session, because if you have any knee pain or something like that, you might want to do that first to warm up your knees before you hit the rest of your workout. Anyways, guys, once again, after your warm up, it goes speed, power, strength, hypertrophy, and then rehabbing exercises, which this one could be at the front. But plyos before weights if you're a beginner or intermediate, and then once you get more advanced, you can go ahead and interchange them and mix them in for some complex training, for some French contrast training, etc., etc. Like this video if you like it. Subscribe to the channel, turn that button from red to gray. Did you know that? If you click subscribe, it turns gray. Try it, and then comment, jump down below if you want a free vertical jump training program. Click the link in my description or my pinned comment if you want me to take you to the next level and text you more than I text my own girlfriend. I'll see you guys in the next video.
Young beast mode from the East Coast, a young kid with a West Coast feel, and I don't even know how the West Coast feel. I'm from where it's cold, the city made of steel, where a lot of niggas fold, only couple keep it real right. Back still, keep it real tight, keep 2 L's just like Cool J. My heart's cold as Ice Cube, praying it's a good day. I'm at a crossroads, but in a good way. I got money on my line.